Here we go.
Yo, we are live. What's up, Tim? How you doing, buddy?
Fine, but it's not showing up on YouTube as live yet for some strange reason. I don't. Here we go.
Uh, yeah, here we
Now
go.
it's showing up.
Yep.
Yeah, major delay. I would think it
Yeah,
would just be a few seconds.
I've got a delay here as well, but it's
Yeah, it was like a 2 to 3 minute delay, it seemed like.
oh, cool.
So it was
Well,
a
here we are.
major delay. Major delay.
You've got a strange reflection on your screen, Tim, right in front of
It's
your
from the
face.
camera. I have
Oh, okay.
this is an HD camera and just has this little light. I can adjust it with just my thumb. It kind of creates a weird little like reflection off of everything. So
Oh,
let me try. Yeah, I can try moving the camera. I've got it on the projectile
that's a bit better.
or whatever it's called, or the tripod. So
Yeah, that's
so
okay.
I don't know how that makes anything look better.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we can see your handsome face now.
And let's see who else is in the chat. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Dean,
Dean, hello, dude. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Lester Santa Zay, the
Lester.
skeptic tank.
Hey,
It's
Lester. How's it
yeah,
going,
the
buddy?
skeptic tank as opposed to the septic tank. I used to think it was called the septic tank. No, it's skeptic.
Skeptic tank. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Tree. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Andrew, the man himself. Andrew.
TJC
What did he
and
say?
Gerard Kane, or is it Jared
Oh,
Kane?
Gerard. Hey, Gerard. Yeah, I can't see Andrew's
Theodore
comment.
and the
My comments don't go
chairman,
high enough. The chairman.
Andrew, Gerard, and TJC, Retro Toy Guy
TJC.
Sai,
Hello.
and
Sai. Good evening, Sai.
so Monkey Boy,
Let's
have you
see.
gotten any toys this week?
I have got a few. Well, I've got a few pickups. I've got a couple more figures, another book, and some movies this week. Um,
Okay.
oh, Lester says he can jump on here and there if that's right. Yeah, we'll speak to you in a bit, Lester. Of course, no worries. Um, Andrew saying that Major Delay sounds like a cancelled GI Joe character. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a delay on my I've got my tablet here next to me so that I can read the comments, but it's running on a big delay. Um, so yeah. So how have you been this week, Tim? Anything exciting to report?
No, not a whole lot's going on right now. I'm just kind of upset that I went to the doctor's office last week and they tell me I'm gonna likely have to buy a new pair of shoes, which I have to go to the Good Feet store. And my mom had told me, well, it costs like over $100 just to buy a pair of shoes there, and I'm not happy about that.
Oh, oh no. Well, yeah, that's
And
pretty
it looks like
expensive.
Johnny Sorensen's back in the chat. Hi, Johnny.
Johnny Sorensen, what's up, Johnny? Hey, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Um, TJC's had issues all week. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll try and make the best of it. I think we're coming across on time. I think it's just there's a delay on certain things. Um, oh,
Yeah, but
Ronnie's been awake all night apparently.
Yeah, I understand that. I get insomnia. Oh, we got somebody else joining us now. It looks like it's Retro Toy Guy Sai.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Sai. Did you get anything new?
I did actually get a couple of pickups this week.
Oh, cool.
Went to a charity shop and
Yes.
I got this funky little guy here.
Let's see if Tim can make you big. Can you
I'll
do
make
it
you big,
first?
Tim.
Yeah, let me.
Make Si big. First try. Come on, you can do it. Yeah.
Yes.
First try. So
So
what did you get?
I have
Oh,
this
cool.
very cool Batman,
Oh, nice. Oh,
which I
do you
had.
know?
I had
Do
one
you
of
know
these
what it
back
is?
in the day. I think it's Matchbox. I think it's Matchbox or maybe the smaller corgi.
Ah,
So
and does
yeah,
Batman
that was
come
really
off?
cool. Yeah. So
Cool.
uh,
Oh, cool. He's got the entirely blue face like the Batman, the Superman in Batman outfit that I've got.
oh,
So he looks the same as that.
okay.
He's cool.
Yeah, you could also imagine it's climbing up a wall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He is rather man spreading, isn't he?
yeah. But it does look pretty cool on his bike there.
Yeah, that's nice. That's
And
cool.
the other thing I picked up was this Britain's 25-pounder cannon.
Oh wow. And
Um,
that's a fully die cast job, I suppose.
yep, yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to get one because my one was broken. This you can see here. You have the mechanism for firing the gun.
Uh-huh.
That bit. But that's broken off on my one, so I needed another one.
Oh,
So yeah, that's pretty
okay.
cool. That was a really good find. That was only €5.
Oh, cool.
And then I also picked up a really cool James Bond um, game from the 1960s, but I don't have it with me here. It's downstairs.
A board game.
No, a board game, and it was only ever available in the Netherlands, and it was €12, and it was complete apart from the instructions. So I have no idea how to play it, but
Ah.
it is a pretty cool thing. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and Puppy's here as well, obviously. Hi guys.
Oh,
Oh, puppy. Puppy. Excellent.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's got a taste
oh.
of fame now, and
Oh,
so he's going to
cool.
sit with me.
Oh,
So
Wednesday
how
wouldn't
are
be
you
the
guys doing?
Wednesday wouldn't be the same without puppy. We're doing all right. It's a bit hot here.
yeah,
It's a
it's
bit
hot
sticky.
here too in California.
Yeah, here too, isn't it,
Ah,
Puppy? Yes, yes, it is. Yes. Oh, over
oh,
here. Yes.
oh, look at puppy.
He's not tall enough to sit on the thing, and he's not stable enough. I have to hold him something like that. There. There we go. That's good, isn't it?
He looks quite chilled this evening. He
Yeah,
looks quite
he's
chilled.
taking it easy in his old age.
Yeah.
I, I don't know what he is in dog years.
Oh, yeah. There's 7 years to one of ours, isn't there? Um,
Yeah, so
oh,
that's
what's
quite
Dean
a lot.
saying? Dean's unboxing vintage toys in order to put them into Ziploc bags. There are legal reasons for this. Okay. Okay.
Oh, no corgi.
No corgi. Oh,
Oh.
okay. Looks like a
Anyway,
Zipline,
so
maybe.
you can make me small again now, Tim, and then we can see what other people have got.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, this is kind of tricky. Oh, here we go.
Hey, and we're all back.
Yeah, I really have to learn how to maneuver all this stuff in StreamYard.
Hello, Jason. Good evening, mate. Good to see you, buddy.
Hi,
Um,
Jason.
Let me just check these comments to see if I've missed anything. No, I think I'm all up to date on here. I think it might be catching up with itself. Johnny says he had a Kermit plush he's had since 1984. Wow, cool. He's
We'll
watching
bring
as
him
well.
on.
Hello, Kermit. Evening,
He,
Kermit.
he could be a friend to Puppy.
Good stuff.
Hello, Kermit.
I've got a few characters with me. I've got Mr. Hippo and Penelope Octopus on the sofa.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're just guarding the sofa. I've got Winston Fish here somewhere as well. Where's Winston? Here's
Yep.
Winston.
Where's Winston? Show us Winston.
There's Winston.
Hello, Winston.
So is that
Winston
just
Fish.
a regular fish or is that a shark?
It's a regular common or garden fish. I think it might be a perch, but I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't say on the label. I think it's a perch, but I'm not really up on my fish. It could be a stickleback, but I've got a feeling it's a perch. But it is thoroughly dead, so that's fine.
It's thoroughly dead.
Yeah.
So before I rudely jumped in and started flashing my puppy everywhere, you were saying you had you got some new stuff, Monkey Boy?
Yeah, I've got a few bits. Yeah, well, last week I got 2 Ghostbusters Plasma Series figures, and this week I got the second 2. So I got Ray and Egon,
Okay,
and
cool.
these are the glow in the dark versions. They're covered in slime, which glows in the dark, but not very well. And the proton stream glows in the dark, and also the packaging glows in the dark as well. The panels on the side have got glow in the dark panels, and the Slimer in the top up here, he also glows in the dark. So they're quite nice.
Okay.
But I won't be opening those. I'll be leaving those in the box. If I'm honest, the sculpts are okay. Egon's glasses look a bit weird. You won't really see it on the camera, unfortunately, but his glasses are
Yeah,
obviously part of the head mold. But if you look at them at the side, they haven't been painted at the side, so he's got sort of strange flesh-colored frames to his glasses.
yeah, but it
Which
looks like it's missing the part right here where they join together right here. That
Jim,
yeah, no,
Jim,
it's
can you
got it.
make Monkey Boy large so that we can?
okay.
Make
Let's
me
see.
large.
Here we go.
Hey, Largo.
It's not focusing. No, he does have the bridge piece across his nose, but it is very thin. The sculpts aren't amazing, but they're also not terrible. So I'm quite happy with that for the price. And I picked up Ray as well, who's got his head looks really weird. He seems like he's got a very big head. I'm trying to show this without getting any glare on the screen, but it's a bit difficult. Yeah, glare is the bane of YouTube toy reviewers. It's all right if you open stuff, but if you keep it in the package like me, you can't show it off because of all the glare. But yeah, so I got those 2, so I was pleased about that.
Does
I
that complete
received
your collection now, or have
Well,
you
I've
still
got
got
the
some
4
figures to get?
Ghostbusters. I've got the 4 Ghostbusters. That's all I wanted to get for that line. I was thinking of getting Gozer and Dana Barrett, but the Dana Barrett one looks a bit. I don't know. It's because there's no soft goods on them. Her clothes didn't seem right, and Gozer looked a bit peculiar around the crotch.
Oh,
And I didn't like the way her crotch looked. You know, sometimes they get that real nappy look to them, where they look like they're wearing a diaper, and it just didn't look very good. So I'm happy with the 4 Ghostbusters. So I've got those 4 now, and they are the Plasma series from Hasbro. So yeah, I got those.
okay.
I had another charity shop find in this Star Wars vehicles book.
No. Do you get all
because
your stuff from the same charity shop, or have you got
well,
various charity shops you
there's
go to?
two charity shops near where I live, so it's normally one or the other.
Okay.
But this is a pretty cool book. It's got, as you would expect, all the sort of cutouts of all the vehicles. It's got some fold out sections as well, but all the main vehicles are in there. I'm not sure when this was made. Let me have a look if I can see a date when this was published. No, I can't. I don't think
It
it's
looks like it's
completely
got
up
the
to date.
prequels stuff in there, but not the.
Yeah, 2015. So it's not
Okay.
the most up to date one. But yeah, for a charity shop find, I thought that was okay. I thought I'd pick that up to go with my other Star Wars reference books.
Yeah,
We
nice.
got a new person joining us, Unmasked Maniac. I think
That's
you're
Johnny.
Johnny. You're
Yeah.
Johnny Sorensen.
Is this
That's
Johnny?
Yeah.
Johnny or
Johnny.
Jonathan Sorensen.
Hey, dude.
Ha
Hey,
ha!
there's
There he is.
Kermit.
There's the Kermit.
Hey.
Check
Oh,
out his feet.
he's big. He's
Oh
big.
wow!
That's his. Yeah, he's big. That's his original skin underneath, and it's all cuddled to bits and stuffing come out.
Oh,
My
no.
grad made the suit for him. See the pants, the
Oh,
jacket.
cool.
She all handmade.
Oh,
got
wow.
a buckle. Redid his whole head and buttons and interior mouth. She's completely covered the whole head. So I redid him in his
Oh.
best colour she could and made him that cool collar. So that's why he survives. And he's still, his neck's not too good. His neck's not as good as it used to be. So
Oh, that's
Excellent.
amazing.
been him since then. And recently I got this one from my missus for my
Hey.
birthday this year.
Sweet.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. So where are you coming to us from, Johnny? New Zealand?
Perth. And I live in Perth. I grew up in New Zealand.
Aha. Okay, cool. So it must be quite early in the morning there for you.
Yeah, it's like 4 a.m. Sorry, I knocked over something.
Oh, it's 4 a.m. there.
Yeah, it's 4 a.m. I've been up most of the bloody night because I couldn't sleep.
Oh,
Yeah, it looks a little
Yeah,
dark
but it-
there.
it's quite the collection
So,
you've got behind you there.
It's just 2 seconds. Hang on.
What happened to him?
He-
Okay,
he,
well-
he just had to leave briefly. He'll be back.
Okay, well, I'm going to add Lester San Jose in the meantime. So Lester is joining us now.
Good evening.
So
Hey.
Hello. Or good afternoon. How are you
let
doing,
me
Lester?
see. Let me see here. Okay.
Chilling like a villain. Just
Cool.
taking a little bit
Cool.
of a breather during work. You know, nature of my job is get on that hamster wheel until you get to a point where you can get off it. But lately it's been slow, but I have enough to do to keep me busy and productive. It's just
Okay.
while I wait for a signal from my computer, like, hey, check your conversion job, and then I'll check the numbers. But I thought I'd take the opportunity. I think I might have mentioned it last time or maybe the week before last, but I found this little bad boy at a dollar store and
Oh,
right,
cool.
this comes
Oh,
packed.
wow.
This comes part of the come on, there's a brand out there called Good to Grow. I did put out a video with a link in the description about that particular drink line, which is a kid's drink, believe it or not. But somehow they were able to get the licenses for both Disney and DC. So I
Can you hold them closer to the camera because we can't really see them?
here's the
Okay, cool.
Batman. Here's the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, cool.
So I also picked up, because they were just available. I picked up more drinks because the drinks are they're all right. I don't know if they're the most delicious drinks out there, but can't complain. I only pay either $1.35 $3 for a kid's drink. Taste is decent, but hey, I get a collectible to go with that. Where's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
So I got Optimus Prime, Darth Vader. Trying to think of the other.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. So they have a real mix of stuff.
so
A
yeah,
Minion.
yep. So I guess those would be my pickups, but I've been trying to get more movies. Just I'm pretty sure I have enough in my library to last me the strike because I think I have a handful of seasons of that Kiefer Sutherland show 24. If I need to binge
Okay.
something, I could. It was
Okay.
during the time I was trying to cut the cord from Netflix. Well, I use my parents' Netflix, but cut the cord from Prime. Speaking of which, I was messing around with OBS for roughly a half an hour trying to manage how to use the different features, and I need to adjust my what they in OBS they call it a canvas. So I got to adjust how the canvas looks from the output side, and I think my frame rate was pretty bad, so I got to redo that one. But
No,
basically,
you kind of lost me at OBS. I don't really know what that
oh,
is.
OBS is a open broadcast software.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a streaming software.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the thing with that is you have a lot of things at your fingertips, but it does have a little bit of a learning curve to go with it.
Oh,
Because
okay.
just imagine, like, you know how people use StreamYard because it's easy to use out of the box. You know, you click this, you
Okay.
click that. OBS does it similarly, but you have to be comfortable with how to manage the different things because I can manage my what they call there's a function in there where you can manage your sources. So whether we're talking my screen, like if I'm gonna highlight my desktop and what's on there, like my browser tabs or windows, or I can flip between that and my webcam, for example. So
Right.
and you have all these switches you can add to it, which makes the learning curve a little bit more difficult. I don't know how much more difficult. I haven't really played with it because I haven't really gone live. And I don't know if I want to do that. Don't know when I want to do that. Um, not
It's all a
sure.
bit heavy. It's all a bit heavy for a chill stream, dude.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
Yeah.
I can follow that.
yeah. So
Hey, Lester, I have a question. You were
yeah,
talking the other week about watching the Mission Impossible movies. So I was wondering how you're getting on. Have you seen any
I
more?
haven't finished part two, and I can already say without looking at 5 and 6, because I've seen 4. I'm slogging through part 2. I would imagine part 3 will be slightly better based on the punditry I've
Hmm.
been listening to, consuming, and
What's the problem with part two? Because you were halfway through that last time.
yeah, the problem with part 2 is just there was a sharp shift. Whoever decided on that sharp shift, I don't know. But the first Mission Impossible was clearly an espionage thriller. After that, they switched more to action. Because at least you didn't have to guess hard who the villain is, but you had to guess nonetheless. Here, it's clear the villain's this guy.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
did in the second one. They had John Woo as the director because he was the big thing at the moment. So they're sort of trying to westernify a John Woo movie by making
Oh.
a Tom Cruise John Woo movie, and yeah, it's not the best movie, and no, I would advise you don't even bother finish watching it, man. Just skip it completely, and
I
then
know, I know.
watch the third one.
Yeah, I was joking with someone on Retro Blasting's Patreon about, oh, now I know what order I'm going to watch these. And he goes, no, 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 we got to watch in new order. I'm like, okay, if you insist. And I tried. Like, I already watched 4. I could start watching 3, but I'm about to say, like, MI7, yes. And I think I mentioned this on another stream. Like, am I looking at MI7 as good because compared to what's been released before that, outside of John Wick and Mario Brothers, which I enjoyed, were the other movies before that bad that I can say MI7 was that good? Were there enjoyable moments? I think so. I won't take back what I said when I got out of the theaters. Because at least for Haley Atwell's character, I think there was some development. And after just kind of wading through the Ahsoka reviews post, watch party, or you're just listening to the watch reacts on, say, World Class BSers. I'm glad I gave up my Disney Plus subscription. Let's say that much. And it's like, and I don't know if there should be a hashtag going around that says Han should have survived that stomach stab, because spoiler alert, there's a homegirl that got stabbed with a lightsaber in the chest or stomach, and she survived. So what does that mean for Han Solo and Qui-Gon? Because if I remember, I didn't watch the prequels. Don't know if I want to collect the prequels, but for me, Star Wars is still the original trilogy, which is in another pundit talk I was part of. It was like you're killing that sense of timelessness with all the additions that you've made, and you're not doing them well. And it's like you're sinking the franchise with every badly executed title you're pushing out there. I'm usually like this. If you're gonna do something, do it right, do it well. Don't make it about you. Here's looking at Rachel Zegler when it comes to not about you. It's just, if you're gonna do something totally different, call it something else.
Johnny's off now. Sorry, Johnny. It was nice to see you, man. Pop on again next time so we can talk about your collection, because you had a good collection behind you there. It'd be nice to get a little bit of a discussion going with you about your collecting. Nice to see you, Johnny. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, it's good to see a lot of people from that aisle just popping in. And I'm with all things 80s. Is that I have no desire. I didn't have a desire. I tried watching the Echo Base Network watch party. Cool feature, but you know what? Whatever I was looking at, I was like, it's a snoozer. And it was just one of those things where, not my lore.
Ahsoka doesn't seem to be that popular of a character, I think, really, to have her own show.
Have you seen Ahsoka, Tim?
No, but she was in that one animated movie. Oh, it looks like Lester dropped out. So
no, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm listening. Like I said, I got that chime from. So while you guys are bantering, I'll banter back. I've got you guys playing as my music in the background, so I can listen to you.
Okay. And we Travels with Jason is going to be joining us now.
Oh, cool.
So
hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hi, Travels.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Scruffy.
That beard really suits you, man. I like that. I think it looks cool.
Clearly, you're all fuzzy.
Looks okay on my end, but it might be the data. I'm having a bit of issues with my Wi-Fi lately.
Yeah, you're very fuzzy, and there's a bit of a lag, Jason. But we can still see your magnificent beard.
It's been a bit, get there. So, how much of a lag is there?
Well, your audio is fine, but the video is not good.
All right. Hi, Dean.
And Andrew's saying, if you get out to Southern California, Henson bought the old Charlie Chaplin lot and put a Kermit statue over the property in the style of Charlie Chaplin. Oh, so there's a there's a Kermit in the style of Charlie Chaplin. Wow. Okay,
Blimey.
that's
Let
cool.
me see if I can try something.
Yeah, you're coming in a little bit more clearly now, but you froze
So-
up.
While you're trying to sort that out, Jason, let me ask Si. Didn't you watch the new Mission Impossible recently?
Yeah, I saw it
Am I?
at the
And
weekend.
you said it was very good.
Yeah. It was really good. It's like most modern day Tom Cruise movies where it's just you have to see it on the big screen. It's the stunts and the action, and yeah, the story is a little bit confusing, really, what's going on. And because they've split it into two movies, obviously it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Right.
But yeah, it was a really good action movie. I recommend
Cool.
going to see it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll check that one out. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen a Mission Impossible film for ages now. I think I've got most of them, I think.
Oh.
I can't remember the
Yeah,
last one I watched.
you need to have watched 5 and 6 before you watch 7.
Okay.
There's returning characters and
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit of a returning plot line. So
Right. Okay. I'm not sure if it's going to be on at the cinema for much longer, actually.
Oh, it's already
yeah.
off mine.
Is it already off where you
Oh.
are, Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't keep them in there very long. I mean, when I was a kid, you would have a film in the cinema and it'd be in there for about 6 weeks or 2 months or something.
Oh, definitely.
But now they seem to be a couple of weeks and they're gone. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's
A little bit.
because they want to get them on their streaming platforms as quick as possible.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're destroying cinema with streaming.
Yeah. What platform will Mission Impossible be coming out on? Does anyone know?
It's probably Netflix, I think.
Well, I
Okay.
think it's going to be Paramount Plus, because I think that's where the MI7, that's where it resides. It's a Paramount thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I don't have that.
So Paramount Plus, when I signed on, it's very addicting because you pay a nominal monthly cost to it and you get all of this Paramount stuff. The only thing that seems like in the realm of Netflix is Max. And the nice thing about that is I can cancel Max for like a month, maybe 2 if I want to, and I can always go back, because
Right.
there's just so much out there and so much to consume. But the elephant in the room is streaming is not the profitable. It's not profitable for these companies, and they're trying to find a way to do that. Like, the only one who made it profitable is Hulu, because I remember they were at the forefront of that. I mean, yeah, Netflix was around, but they still had the DVD model. People were still renting DVDs while they were subscribed to Netflix.
Yeah.
But
No, but
Hulu,
it's different all around the world. So you guys have Hulu.
Yeah.
I don't have that in the Netherlands. I don't think you have that in the UK either.
Oh, it's
No.
it's
US.
internet only.
Oh, it's internet only. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a
'cause,
fable.
we have Netflix and Disney. I also have Disney Plus.
Yeah,
But
they
with Netflix, we cancel it for the summertime because better weather and the kids can go out and play. But then we get it back for the winter time when it's bad weather.
Oh, cool.
And I know all the
Okay.
other Mission Impossible movies were are on Netflix, but that's here.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah.
Netflix is different in every country as well.
Yeah.
very much so.
Oh, I started to watch the new, or not the new, but I started to watch one of the new Halloween films last night, but I fell asleep. It was Halloween Kills, I think.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
it on
Sounds
Netflix.
exciting.
Yeah, I can't remember. I took a sleeping tablet, and I can't remember at what point I fell asleep. But I don't remember any of the film, so I'm gonna have to start it again and watch it again.
Best way.
Um,
Yeah, I've got the original Halloween on Blu-ray.
Oh,
20
nice.
I like the
Yeah,
original.
35th anniversary.
Oh, cool.
And then I've got the Blu-ray of Halloween 2.
Oh, nice. Have you just picked those up?
I've had them for a while. I just haven't opened them. I've got so much stuff I could watch. I've
I've
got
got some
lots,
movies. I've got
lots
some
and
movies
lots
here
and
that I
lots.
picked up. I picked up 3 movies this week. The first one is a film called Green Room. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that. It's like a
I haven't seen
sort
it,
of
but I've heard of it.
a
Yeah, I've
horror
heard of it as well.
kind of film. Hang on, Andrew's saying, "Be careful with sleeping tablets with Skeletor around." Oh, not sure he'd want to wake up with him standing over my bed. Yeah, I know. I'll try and keep my wits about me. No, Green Room. I have seen this before. I can't remember much of it. I just remember enjoying it. And it's one of the last films that Anton Yelchin starred in. He's this guy here in the middle. He was
died
in
a car crash, didn't he?
he died. Yes, he lost his life in an accident. What happened is he had a very steep driveway leading to the gates of his house. And what he'd done is he'd left his car at the top of the driveway, and he'd gone down on foot to his mailbox to take the mail out, but he didn't realise he hadn't put the handbrake on his car, the parking brake, and the car rolled down the hill. And it, what's that? Oh, sorry, I thought something happened. Yeah, his car rolled down the hill and crushed him against the against the gates of his house, and he died.
Ouch.
Yeah, Chekhov. Yeah, yes, Dean. Yeah, it was Chekhov from the
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah, it looks like Jason stepped
This
away.
is a good film. It's very gruesome, from what I can remember, and it's quite cool. It also has Patrick Stewart in it. I don't remember being that impressed with his role, but anyway, yeah, Green Room. It's quite a tense thing. And then I picked up, because we were speaking the other week, Tim, about the Invisible Man. I picked up this remake of it, starring Elizabeth Moss, but I haven't seen this, so I don't know if this is any good or not. But I do like a bit of invisibility, so yeah, I thought I'd give that a go. And then finally this week, I picked up the Diamond Lux Edition Steelbook of Batman, 1989.
Oh, it's classic.
Yeah. I realised that I didn't own the film, and I've seen it numerous times. I don't believe I had it on DVD or anything, so I thought I'd treat myself to the Diamond Lux Edition on Blu-ray, and it's a 25th anniversary edition, and it's got a documentary on it, the birth of the modern blockbuster.
So when you open them, does it hurt, or do you leave them wrapped up?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment it's in a nice cellophane wrapper, but I yes, I will be opening this.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jason's
Well,
back.
I picked up some things.
Someone's got some Britons.
Yep, there's a great little charity shop, but it's only for figures and toys. It's based in London. It's called the Toy Project. If you can find their internet details by obviously browsing on the internet. And their main shop is in Archway in London. Now, most of their vintage figures get shipped to their second branch, what's in Selfridges, and it's still a charity in there. But I was chatting with them in the Archway branch. They got a whole box of Britons because they don't sell no more. They were telling me. They said they just can't sell them. You know, they just no one's interested. And I said, they went, "Oh, are you interested?" And I went, "Yes, I am." Sadly, they couldn't find the box. So I'm hoping, because I'm going to go back this Saturday, I'm hoping I may grab some more Britons, Dean.
Cool.
And obviously,
Nice.
this is the 8th Army, obviously in the desert. Now, I never had the 8th Army. I had the British Army, I had the Japanese, I had the American Civil War, but I never had these.
Cool.
And there was some Indians and cowboys there, but I wasn't interested in them. Now,
He's interested. Oh, let's just quickly
Did
say
they have
hello
any of
to-
the vehicles? Or?
Hello,
how
hello,
I bet
Delvian.
I know you are, Dean.
Hi, Delvian. Good to see you, mate.
And I went to the Southeast branch. I found this great figure in their display cabinet for 15 quid. He's part of the either first or second wave for Star Trek, the motion picture.
Right.
And there's only 3 aliens, if I remember rightly, that's really hard to get. And he was sitting in the box with a price tag on 15 quid. I went, "Thank you very much, you're mine."
Right.
And he is really hard to get. Yep, you're right, Dean. That is his name.
Oh, an
I mean,
Arcturian.
yeah. So
Is
it's a
that
nice.
is that the same character that Dean had the 12-inch figure of?
Not sure, probably.
His
Dean
face
was-
is. Yeah, it's hard to see because you're. Oh, there we go. There we go.
I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the colour did on the figure line. It was quite pale. And they did a Klingon and something else.
Oh, okay. He looks like Freddy Krueger.
Yes, I know. He's a right
I
ugly
thought it was
dude.
the Mummy at first.
It looks in very good condition.
Oh, he is. He is. Look, I mean, that's if I go like that, you can see how stiff he is. He's not been played with. Basically, like we all know, it's the Star Trek motion picture figures. There was only, I think, 8 or 9 of them. You never did the full bridge crew. You never got Eura. You never got Chekhov. And you didn't get Sulu.
Oh,
So, so it was a very short line and it didn't last long, but I never thought I'd get any of these. I mean,
well,
I
that's a
got,
nice pickup. Good find.
yeah, so I was really happy. Basically 15 quid. Because then I went on the eBay to see what the cheapest I could find, because they price their stuff up from like e-price sold items. And let's say the cheapest I find on eBay was 80 quid. So they messed up on that one. So I was very happy.
So,
I should think
so
you
you got
were.
a good deal there, and you helped charity also.
Yeah.
So you,
Nice one. Oh, by the way,
also-
Andrew, don't think you got away with that Shakin' Stevens reference. I spotted it.
Now,
I
I was
love that. I love that, Jason. That's a really nice one.
this was given to me by a friend.
Wow.
He's given me about 4 or 5 figures now. But he has
Yeah,
no
it's
interest
real
in them.
nicely colored.
Oh,
He's in
yeah.
really
yeah, he's in
good
amazing condition.
We believers, we do a little. I help them out every now and again on house clearances. Pardon me. that there was a whole box of these figures. Not many, about like 12 figures, and we believe the figures were bought for birthdays and Christmas because it was all different. There was some from Star Wars, some from Empire, and some from Return of the Jedi. Basically, opened up, basically went, "Oh, thanks, Mum, thanks, Dad," and then chucked it in a box. Basically, wasn't interested in Star Wars.
Right.
That's why they look so much mint.
It's
And
in great condition.
Yeah. Is he
Yeah.
sticky or is he good?
no, lovely. Again,
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's the one figure I haven't got. Well, there's lots of Kenner Star Wars figures that I haven't got, but that's the one I haven't got that I would like in the collection.
and if I remember
Yeah,
rightly,
a really nice
let's
one.
see
That.
if I can. Yeah, can I see? No, I can't see. Don't know if the camera can see where he's from. Let's see.
No, I don't think we're going to be able
I
to
can't
see
see.
No, I think he's from Hong Kong, and I believe I haven't got a Hong Kong figure. So that's my number 3.
that. Cool. Good job.
Then, do you recognise these, Monkey Boy?
Oh,
I
Dean
do.
should recognise these as well.
I do.
you got the instructions from us.
Correct. But I thought there was only 3 different pictures. And I was talking to a Facebook member of the same group that me and Monkey belongs to. I don't know about you, Si, if you're in the
I
Mars
don't do
Facebook group.
I don't do Facebook.
And he was selling fish. Now I knew about this one,
Hello, Joe.
and
Hello, dude.
I thought I wanted it in my collection.
Yeah, that's
And I
nice.
thought that was the last one. I didn't think there was any other different ones. And it's in really nice nick. What I'm going to frame, like the other 2. Then he also had this one. I've not seen this one on any of the pictures. You might know of it, Monkey Boy, but I've not seen this one before. It's from the Split Sections series.
Oh yeah. I've seen that
yeah.
one.
But I had never seen it before till he showed it to me, and I thought, oh, and he gave me a good offer. But he actually said to me, "What am I willing to pay?" And I said, "Well, I was willing to pay." He went, "Yeah."
Cool. Okay.
For Buzzard.
Yeah, Buzzard. That's the next vehicle that I've got to review on my channel at some point.
Yeah.
I really can't be bothered. I don't like the Buzzard very much, to be honest.
Let's say I also, from the toy budget, I also picked up a Major Mayhem from the Buzzard because I thought my Buzzard didn't have any of the figures.
Right.
I did. So
you got Miles or Maximus?
It's one of them.
Okay.
The twins. They look the same to me, apart from the different colours. I've got both of them.
The one Maximus has got a monocle in his eye,
Right.
He wears a monocle, so you can tell from the face sculpt which one is which. If you're struggling,
Right.
because I can't remember.
I
Which one
don't
is
think
which
he's.
colour.
I don't think he's got one of them.
Oh, okay. That'll be Miles
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. And then I went into Forbidden Planet, and I bought the next chapter in that one.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it's about.
Not familiar with that.
Well, it's a great series. It's now gone into like a pre-series sort of thing. His first series that Taylor Allison done was about a Second World War destroyer, 1941/1942. Basically, retreating from Japan, retreating from the base, where everything was going Pete Tong, and somehow it's around the Burma Triangle area. They basically get sent to another world, and that's where they find basically other humans and basically dinosaurs, but where if we hadn't been around and a meteorite hadn't struck, it's a very interesting series.
Oh, cool.
It's been going on for some years actually, but they're
Right.
basically all my pickups.
Oh, cool.
And obviously, there is one more pickup that is not a pickup. I got these in the post yesterday. I did not expect anything in my post, and I found these on my doorstep.
Oh, you lucky boy.
And I wonder who sent them to me.
Oh, I don't know, man. You lucky boy.
Yeah, and it really made me smile. I was a bit down,
Oh, good.
and these came at the right time, mate.
Oh, good. I'm pleased.
And
Oh,
so yeah, I was so it was quite,
cool. Well, I'm glad you like them.
Oh yeah.
Joe's saying that he's going to start collecting masks. He's looking to get Condor first. It's a good base to start.
It is actually. I think that was my first vehicle.
That's when
Yeah,
that was my first vehicle when I was a kid. It was Condor.
Yeah,
I never saw them.
I think mine was probably Gator. I think. Oh, I can't remember. Yeah, but no, good work, Joe. Yeah, start to collect them. It's quite nice once you've got a big collection of them. Dean's saying that the way that Tim is switching the camera is very good. Yeah, Tim's on the ball.
Oh, he is.
Did you guys see Tim's appearance on ZSR last week?
Yes. I watched.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I was sort of lurking because I was busy doing something, but yeah.
I need to split, so
it's quite late in your area, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming up to 11 o'clock now. So
it was good to see you and Puppy. Thanks
good to see you, Retro Toy Guy.
Hi, Puppy.
Really appreciate it.
For having me. I'll watch the replay. I'll watch it again tomorrow morning.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Puppy, and Si. Thank you very much. It's good to see you. Cheers, really appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, there goes Puppy. Yeah. So Tim, I know that you discussed this a little bit on ZSR, but I was just wondering, how long have you been into movies? What sort of started it all off for you? Is it something that you've been into for a very long time?
Well, I think it probably started with Star Wars when I was a kid, and then when I got a little bit older, I started getting into the classic Universal monster movies like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And then Dracula, the Mummy, Tarantula, the Blob, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Night of the Living Dead.
Cool. And what sort of age were you when this started?
Well, with the horror movies, I don't know if I was 10 or maybe I was 11.
And how did you first come across them? Was it a TV thing, or did you rent them from a store?
Well, the school library had the books, these books that had the picture books with a little bit of text in them of the adaptations of the movies, and then there was they had some like posters up advertising them as well in the school library. And then we got American movie classics when I was about 11, and I started seeing some of them on there.
Uh-huh. And did you used to collect movies on VHS?
VHS, not so much. I got like Night of the Living Dead on VHS tape, and then I remember getting episodes of Dark Shadows on VHS, but I got the VHS of Bela Lugosi Dracula for Christmas one year from one of my brothers, but not so much because a lot of those I could just tape off the cable at the time.
Right. Okay. Did you do that a lot? Tape movies from the TV?
Yeah, like well, Night of the Living Dead was one that I taped off a basic cable, and then Dracula I taped off the American Movie Classics once.
Uh-huh. Cool. Would you say that would you say that horror was your favorite genre?
Yeah, I would say so.
Do you
Along
watch
with
any modern
sci-fi.
horror? Do you watch any of the modern horror films?
Well, I saw the Blair Witch Project when it came out on VHS.
Never watched it.
Okay. Oh, Joe's
Jody,
saying
Becky, I started watching Universal Horror before age 5. I saw The Exorcist on broadcast TV at like 9, and intrigued me and scared me for life.
Wow. Yeah. I can't remember when I first saw The Exorcist, but I was definitely a lot older than 9. I would imagine that was quite...
I think I must have been about 11, 12 maybe.
Right.
I do. But the funny thing where, Tim, you were saying you recorded a lot of films on video. I mean, we
Yes.
all did that. But the one I remember a lot was recording Star Wars.
Yeah, that was when my brother would record a lot. And when the Sci-Fi Channel first aired the original Star Wars trilogy, he recorded it, and it was hosted by Carrie Fisher, but I think he just paused out the segments where she was talking about the movies, and he just went straight to the parts of the movies.
Very patient then. No, I've never seen Blair Witch, and not to this day.
Andrew, I heard it caused some people motion sickness to vomit in the movie theater, but the DVD and the VHS never did that to me. But when I got that 2-pack DVD with Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, the sequel had a little bit of a shaky camera during the end credits, which made me a little bit dizzy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was another one that really, camera work was terrible. It was based on the same way. They've now done a couple more films in the same universe. The Cloverfield. I think it was just called Cloverfield.
Oh, yeah.
The filming in that with the camera so shaking, that was terrible. I remember the first half an hour watching that in the cinema. I don't talk in cinema, but me and my brother, we talked a lot, and we were both watching it at the time, and somebody told me, because it was boring for the first 25 minutes. It's like, get on with the story. And somebody went behind, can't you two be quiet? It was like, yes, I may.
Andrew's saying that the TV adaptation of Salem's Lot scared the crap out of him. That bit where the kid comes up to the window, that's really creepy. It's still creepy to this day.
Have you ever seen Go on, Tim.
Yeah, I remember there was a scene where this female vampire is like a dead body on like a gurney in the morgue, and I think she starts to come off of it, and somebody puts like a crucifix on one of her hands and burns her to death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good. They adapted that twice actually. They did the first one, and then I think they did one in the 90s with oh, I've forgotten the guy's name now. I can't remember it. I can't remember the guy's name, but they've adapted that for TV twice.
Same
Evil
with
Evil Dead Rise.
Stephen King film, wasn't it? What's it called? The really famous where he puts his
The Shining.
Shining, yeah. They done the film, then they done a TV series, and then they done another film of it, and then another series, I think, at some point.
Yeah. Joe's saying that he recently saw Evil Dead Rise and he thought it was too much shock and bordering on torture porn. I saw that at the cinema and I wasn't impressed.
I didn't get to see it. Not yet.
I really wasn't impressed with it. I was hoping it was going to be sort of scarier than that, and it wasn't. It was just, like Joe says, it was just shock.
Do you think? Because I remember the last Evil Dead that did, number 3, the Army of Darkness. It was more, bit horror, but comedy, and did that not do that well? Because they seem to have gone from that storyline to this one after all these years.
Yeah, I mean they're sort of related, but I mean they did a remake of Evil Dead a few years ago, and that was actually very good. I enjoyed that. But Evil Dead Rise wasn't so good. Let's have a look what we've got. Andrew's saying he was scared by Carnival of Souls. I haven't seen that.
No, I don't think I have yet.
Dean's saying that his most watched VHS recording was Duran Duran performing Wild Boys on Noel Edmonds' Late Breakfast Show. Brilliant.
I will say one thing: Wild Boys is a cracking good song. Now, I can just hear it now as soon as you said Wild Boys.
Hey Zantara, thanks for popping in. Good to see you, madam. Tip my hat to you, my lady. She's saying that Rutger Hauer was in the TV remake. Yep. Yeah, that was okay. I've got both of them, both of the adaptations. Yeah. 7980. Yeah, cool. I can remember when I was a lot younger, I had a TV in my bedroom, but when I went to bed, my parents said, time to turn the TV off now, and they would make me turn the TV off, and I would wait for about half an hour after they'd gone to bed, and then I would creep to the end of my bed, turn the TV on, and turn the volume right down so it was on the very bare minimum of volume, so that my parents couldn't hear me listening to it. And I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street about 2 inches away from the screen because the volume was so low. And I remember that's the first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street was in the middle of the night, 2 inches away from the screen.
Blimey. I mean, it's like when you think about it, I was always watching 18 films when I shouldn't have been allowed to watch 18 films in the UK. And I knew they wasn't real. I knew that it was fantasy. It's make I can't say the word. Make believe. So and never really scared me. I think there was only 2 or 3 horror films that had scared me or shocked me. And over the years, and I don't think I was a kid. And the thing is, they've gone right out of my head. But yeah, I mean, what? No, I really can't remember what the 2 films were. But yeah, I mean, but I enjoyed them. To me, I loved watching them. And it was like when I saw Child Play. I mean, cracking good film.
Yeah.
But I knew dolls don't come alive.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we used to watch films. My friend's dad would go to the video shop and rent stuff out for us that we weren't old enough to watch.
Mhm.
I remember he got. I remember the first horror film I saw that way was, and probably the first horror film I ever saw actually was Nightmare on Elm Street 2, because my friend's father went and rented it out from the video shop for us when we were about 8, maybe. I was about, probably about 8, maybe 9.
Mm.
And I remember being like really, really excited that I was going to be watching a horror film because I'd heard about Nightmare on Elm Street and I'd never seen it. And I remember sitting there with my friend watching it, and we each had a carrier bag from Tesco's or somewhere, in case we wanted to be sick. So we like prepared ourselves for this really horrific experience. And of course, we absolutely enjoyed it to bits, and we weren't sick at all. We found it was really, really enjoyable. So that's my earliest memory of watching horror films. I think I was always into horror stories when I was young. I would read a lot of children's adaptations of Dracula and Frankenstein and the Mummy and the Wolfman and things like that. I used to read a lot of sort of teen horror when I was very young. So I was always into being scared and reading books about ghosts and things like that. So I was always quite happy to be creeped out, and I like that now. I like to feel creeped out. It sort of gives me a nice thrill.
I was always making stories up. I was always. I wish I didn't have what I call dyslexia, and because I could really do a good story out of my head, but
Yeah.
try and get that story on paper, I just couldn't do.
Right.
But I could do great stories, but I could never get them on paper. And if I tried putting them on paper, it just, because I couldn't remember how to spell words, and it was so frustrating.
Yeah.
It was. But I remember I used to always be a part of the crew of Men and Falcon because they landed in my school field. And there were some things going on. And obviously, this must have been at age about 9, 10, and going on adventures.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I was lucky. My dad bought a video camera, and with that video camera came a free TV. It was only a 13-inch TV. Like we know, we didn't have big TVs back in the day, did we?
No.
Basically, I was given the free TV, so I had a colour TV in my bedroom, where before then I had a black and white one that was given to my mum, I think, from my nan and granddad. So I was a lucky boy. And later on, I ended up with a video player because the one that my mum and dad had, they got a replacement from basically X-Ray the Rentals. And I ended up with a video player as well. So
Oh,
I was sometimes I look back, basically on my childhood, basically when my mum was separated from my old man for quite some years. I was a really lucky boy. I just didn't realise how much, especially the Star Wars toys, basically from my single parent, how much I got.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just Star Wars, but I also got a big network of family as well, so they helped as well.
Oh, cool.
But there's one thing I do remember. My mum was meant to get me a hi-fi system. And she told all my aunts and my nan and granddad, that's what I'm getting Jason for Christmas. Can you all buy the accessories? You know, headphones, tapes, so I can record your music.
Yeah.
I didn't get the hi-fi system, but I got all the accessories.
Oh. Oh no.
Mm. Things like that just make you laugh. It's like, what did I do with this pair of headphones? Ah, thank you, Mum.
Joe says he can remember having a 15-inch black and white TV for the whole apartment.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember getting a color TV for the first time because when I was very young, we just had a black and white TV, and I can remember watching snooker for the first time and being able to tell which colors were where, because watching snooker was really difficult on a black and white TV.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah,
that was nice.
I wasn't a sport person, but I do know where you're coming from because my old man used to watch snooker, and at one point that was ours as well. We just had a black and white TV, and you can't tell what colour the balls are. They're all the same colour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only the commentator actually saying, "Oh, he's just potting the black, he's just popping the red," and you knew what the colour was.
The white, you could spot the black, but like the blue and the blue and the green and the brown, they were all the same colour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to go somewhere this Saturday.
Oh,
fingers crossed.
On your travels?
Just going to London again, but I'm hoping to go to this fan thing. But problem is, they've got the same name as a certain company in America. That's basically ripped most of the fans off, haven't they? At a certain company. But they've called it. No, they've obviously hadn't researched the name. I thought, cracking good name for all Star Wars props have been made by fans, outfits, models, but they've called it Fan Strike. You know what?
Oh, okay.
Dean would definitely know this, and I'm sure Tim does as well. That there's a certain company in America that's ripped a lot of it with that name.
Yeah.
And
that's a bit of a shame that they didn't do their research on the name.
It was only meant to be a temporary thing, but it's been extended. So I'm hoping to go and see it this Saturday, buy my ticket Friday night, and hope to get there by about going for 1 p.m. So, but for then, I'm going to try and go to the toy project and see if I'm going to give them a tinkle, probably the mower, and say, look, I'm coming back on Saturday. If you can find the Britons, it'd be a great helpful. Yes,
Pick up a few more of those, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't got a clue what's in this box of figures they've got. It could be anything from and the thing is, they say a big box. I mean, it could be a box like that. That's a big box to some people. It could be a box like this. You know what I mean? I've got no clue what's in there. I'm actually hoping there might be some American Civil War figures again, because I did love them. Some of the figures I had as a kid. But I will be buying them because literally I'm charging for this figure price £4.
But if you buy a few of them, I'm pretty sure you can haggle.
Yeah, and it's £4 each for Britain, and that's not a bad price. It's near enough to take going back to 1980s. I think they're probably about £2 back then, but so that's what I'm hoping.
Well, try and get yourself a deal if you're going to get a few of them.
And same as I was having a chat with a lady in the South Seas part of their toy project, and she said if she's basically on again this Saturday, because I was telling her about I got my channel and all that, she said, "Well, you're welcome to film." So obviously about filming that part where all the Finch's toys are. Some of them a bit pricey. Pardon me. Some of them are a bit pricey. Because
it's good to do a video though, a little bit of a tour and see what's going on.
They got Centurions there, and with no accessories for about £6. Only like 1 or 2.
Okay.
But then they are catering, like you know, it's London. They're catering for tourists as well in Selfridges. So, so they are going up a little bit in price. They're hoping to grab some Americans, some foreigners, to get something from their childhood at a good-ish price. And I picked up, I think, over the past now about 6 or 7 figures. And I only found them out last year. Or was it this year? One of them two, anyway. And,
Yeah, I know Sly's got a few of those. It's not something I don't even remember them, to be honest.
I don't.
They kind of passed me by.
Don't remember the cartoon either. I was watching all the cartoons back when I was a kid. And there's certain cartoons I do wonder, did they actually come to the UK? Or was I at a certain age where I was going out a lot with my friends that I just didn't see them?
So what cartoon were you just talking about?
Centurions.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood what you were talking about. Yes, I remember Centurions.
Right.
Yeah, my friend
Which
had
one was you talking about?
I was confused. I thought you were still talking about the Britain soldiers.
And
then when you mentioned cartoon, I thought, hang on, that doesn't make sense.
No, they never know cartoons.
Sorry, I misunderstood you. No, I don't remember the Britain soldiers. I certainly remember Centurions. That they were great. I didn't have any myself. My friend had all 3 of them, and I used to, when I went to his, we used to play with those. But I never had them. I preferred the smaller figures to the larger ones because you could take them with you
I did. Yeah, I was basically 18. Star Wars. I think I found a couple Battlestar Galactica figures at the boot fairs when I was a kid, so they went in with the with the figures, and Action Force and GI Joe, because it was all the same weight, the same size, so you had all the vehicles, same size ish. Especially for action force, where you can put the 18 vehicles with action force in GI Joe because they're the same size. They can all be together.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't remember. No, I've lost my train of thought. Sorry, I was just reading that comment from Dean. Dean doesn't remember the Centurions at all.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, no, that was all right. They were quite good toys, actually. And of course, they're really expensive now. Well, the figures themselves aren't that expensive, but some of the
It's all accessories.
the accessory packs are quite pricey.
Well, thank you for giving me that bit of a tug, because I might just look for the Centurions on eBay. For all
Evil Bay.
What was that?
We sometimes call it Evil Bay.
Oh, well. It hasn't been bad for me since I came around in the early aughts. Like I've heard of horror stories, but I've had my hits and my misses. Usually the misses are surrounding software and licenses, but I will not go any further beyond that. I've learned my lesson. I mean, yeah, you might find a deal, but it might backfire. But for all that I've gotten, whether it's computing hardware, my cell phones, that it's very important to read the description, look at the images, make sure they look fine. But I just want to see how much it would cost to get a Centurion's, whatever, whether we're talking VHS. That just means I got to hook up a VCR I might still have. I think I still have them. But I do remember the cartoons. I do remember owning the toys. And as I've said in a lot of streams, if I had the right people in my childhood, I wouldn't have given up my toys as easily as I have. Because I've had all sorts. My buddies down the hill from where my parents still live, we go back and forth like, oh, what did you get? We got the He-Man. And it's funny, like the He-Man toys were just something like, yeah, let's get He-Man. And we didn't know what to think. We thought He-Man was cool, and we got the figures, even the one that because you would get the standalone figure that just stood, and then I think they had released one where it rotated, where I forgot how it worked, but I do know that you can have the He-Man, the figure's torso to rotate or twist, and then the other one was you could fit a sort
Was
of.
that the yellow one where you flicked the dial on the back and you made him spin around? Is that the one you mean?
Something like that, and there might have been one that was using. I think I forget the term would be. I think it's caps. So like a cap gun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they had a variation where you fed it like the. I don't know if it was the ones you might put in a cap gun, like a revolver, or the one where you fed the paper caps. I forgot how.
Yeah. So that was Power Punch He-Man.
Oh yes, yes, I had that, and we collected figures. We played with toys all through my childhood. Whether we're talking those, I did get like a Rambo figure when I think it was around the same time the cartoon came out for Rambo, and I think I if it was my sister or myself, we had the Rambo where you twist it and it would be like the flamethrower mechanism that it would make a noise, like the flamethrower.
Oh, cool.
And then we got the Turtles toys, and my brother, being the turtle fan that he was, even for the 3-year-old, 4-year-old he was, it was my mom got him the comic book, we got him the Turtle Band, and it's like, now that we got older, we may not play with them the way we used to, but if I had known the right people, I wouldn't have given them up. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
given that my parents, since the four of us kids left the house, and my dad had started expanding the house for empty nesters, I find that a little funny, but that just means they can host more parties without us. I don't know. But they could have set aside a display case for all the things we had, because that's in many ways, especially since I've gone to retro gaming expos, that's history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I think the advent of DVR really, I love tech. At the same time, I hate tech, especially with how fast it's gone. Like, kids aren't being fed what we were fed. Like, we wanted to play we wanted to play Crossfire. I was like, oh, I wanted to get Crossfire. Even looking back on the commercial, I find that kind of hilarious. But when we were a kid, yeah, we wanted a piece of that action.
Was that the tabletop game where you had the guns, the little?
Yes.
Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you would fire the little pellets.
Yes. And then the effect in the commercial was like the guy losing. I forgot if it was he was turning around and then he vanished. Then the guy at the end like, yeah. I still remember that to this day. But they don't make commercials like they used to. Also because people likely skip the commercials. And I think I mentioned in previous streams Tim had, I remarked that I walked into a local Barnes and Noble and they have a toy section. But are these kids being incentivized to play with toys? Not that I recall.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I was just inspired. Thank you for inspiring me to look into Centurions and whatever's available there, Jason. So
that's all right.
Yeah, if I can find some figures and see if I want to pay whatever I paid, because I recently also stumbled upon Netter's Network. I forgot. Tim, do you remember which one that was? That might have been the one on Fridays where Netter gave
Fridays. It's her husband Troy Bocelli.
Right, but there was
Netter does hers on Thursdays.
But there was a link she gave. It might have been during Troy's show that I clicked onto it. It was tonghori.com and
Tungori. Yeah, they sell some Star Wars action figures on that site.
Yeah, and so I in terms of pickups, I'm waiting for them to be delivered because, as I found out, they're being shipped from Hong Kong. And don't get me started on Hong Kong. I have my stuff about Hong Kong.
My dad did his national service out there.
What's that again?
My dad did his national service out there. It was Hong Kong, Singapore, and one other country did his national service. And he basically he loved Hong Kong and Singapore so much. When he basically retired and he got his own place once separated, he basically, you thought you were walking into an Asian place, all decored out with all this Hong Kong Japanese decor.
Andrew's saying that he sees plenty of Centurion figures at shows, but the tricky bit is all the accessories. Yeah, that's the thing. The figures themselves are not particularly expensive; they're quite easy to come by. But if you want to get the bits for them, you can pay as much for one accessory as you can for a whole figure.
But then it's the same with stuff. It's the same with the Star Wars. It's basically it's now getting to be any figure from any line. You look at masks now. You go back 2 years ago when you started showing your mask vehicles. It must be 2 years. And Dean and Luke. mask stuff was quite cheap, but now all the prices are going up,
Yeah.
and parts are going up in prices. So I mean,
Did you manage to get that door for Razorback that you were after?
door, Razorback. Which one's Razorback now? Trying to remember. My brain's
The white
No.
and red.
He said he wouldn't hold it for me. I said to him I was going to get some money this week, and he said, "Well, if it's still there, I can have it. If he, so I'll measure him tomorrow to find out if it's still there or not. If it
Okay.
isn't, oh well. But it's
Right.
like I've had some good guys on our groups where I've messaged them and gone, look, I've copped up, basically, pardon the French. I've realised I can't pay. Really sorry. Pop it back on. And they, 9 times they don't know I do a YouTube channel, or they might do, or sometimes I posted on our groups. And they're gone, oh, no worries, mate. We'll hold it for you. And 9 times 10, if I do it early, I'd do it early. But he said to me, I've had so many people say, they do it. And I said, yeah, no worries, mate. I understand. And I was like, if it's still there, it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be good to get it completed, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it's not a bad price.
The only thing I'm missing in my mask collection, I mean, I haven't got all the vehicles because
No,
I don't
I'm
want
the
all of
same.
them. But the only bit I'm missing out of my entire collection is the steering wheel for the Goliath racing car. That's the only bit I'm missing.
I've got repro parts for all them, thanks to what's his name? He's on our group as well. He does all the repo parts, and he also makes proper vehicles as well for Mars. He's named after one of the bad guys in Mars.
Oh, what? Cliff Dagger?
Yeah, that's the guy. And all these repo parts I've had of.
Go on.
He's really been really good, mate. And not bad prices.
Yeah, they are good. Andrew's saying he's waiting for my big T-Bob spotlight video. Yep, okay. That's fine. Yeah, keep waiting. Keep waiting by all means.
I've got T-Bob.
Might be a long wait.
I've got T-Bob, but again, it was one of these things I found that my friend went, hey, you can have it. I don't, that'll fetch 50p if we're lucky.
Oh, Dean's saying that he's not into split seconds.
I just like a couple of vehicles from there.
I don't really like the split seconds.
I don't care. I mean, I don't like what they transform into. I just like the vehicles. So it's like, it takes us back to the 80s of some of the vehicles that you loved. I mean, the main reason why I bought the Beetle because I loved Herbie.
Okay.
I did. And I've always loved the Beatles cars. So, yes, what it trans into is rubbish.
I wasn't a fan of the split second series. You've got Afterburner, haven't you?
Yes. No.
No, I thought you had that.
No, that's a long one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't got him.
Oh, see, I'd like that purely for the Dusty Hayes figure because I think he's got one of the best masks in the entire line. He looks fantastic. I was trying to buy just the figure on its own, but it was so expensive. And unfortunately, that mask often breaks halfway down the front because it's got a long piece at the front with a green gemstone, and it often breaks at that point.
So quite fragile plastic then on that one.
Yeah, I think so. I think it tended to get a bit brittle, but because of the mold, it used to break at the halfway point. So there are
Right.
quite a few that you can find online that are broken. But I really like the look of that figure in the mask. That's one I'm thinking about getting. But I mean, you can pay as much for the figure on its own as
Yes,
the whole vehicle.
you can.
Um,
I mean, I went to a charity shop. I bought a Action Force figure that was going to go in my collection for literally £3, and I didn't know nothing about it apart from it was Action Force and O-ring. So a little bit later from the first wave, well, that's really what I collect is the first so many waves, the solid figures like Star Wars and Star Trek.
yeah.
But I thought for £3 I can't leave him. I then put him on the Action Force group. Said, look, can you give me more information about this guy? Well, let's say they went to me. Please tell us you didn't find him in a charity shop. £4. I went, no, I found him for £3, and it was actually a market, actually, not the charity shop. And he went to me, that figure in the state he is, and so that's worth anything from £150 to £300.
Oh,
And I went, and I had about 4 to 5 DM me. And are you interested in selling that figure? I'm like, no, I bought it for my collection. Then 24 hours.
I hit something that's causing that.
Then about 24 hours later, I was like, it's O-ring. O-ring has problems with the blimmin' rubber bands. Do I want that issue later on to get rid of? And I thought sod it. So I did 2 listings. I put one on the Action Force page for, I think I did it for 150 on there. I said, look, no, 135, and I also listed on eBay for 150. I said, whoever, and I was on this. I said, I've listed it on eBay as well, but I thought I'd give you first. It sold in 2 seconds.
really?
Yeah. And I thought to myself, with that £135, it goes towards my airfare. And I thought, or it go towards some more vintage early ways of Action Force. Because I thought it could be 6 months down the line. You don't know how long that rubber band in the O-ring's going to snap.
Yeah.
And I thought, and it was in lovely nick. It was solid. I mean, no loose arms, no broken hands. Again, another figure that I probably never played with.
Yeah. Well, you did well there.
And then I picked up, I think a couple of days later, from a charity shop. It's called, actually, you bear me one moment. I'll just go and grab it. It's ugly thing, but
All right.
you might know it. Bear with me.
Andrew's saying that Andrew's saying the masks were cool, but they were too small for him, and he was almost guaranteed to break or lose them. And says he's still not old enough for toys.
I'm going to have to put my battery on in a minute. Right, I am back,
Andrew's
as you
saying
can
that
see.
replacing the O-rings is pretty easy. He's managed to do it himself. Even drilled out the stripped screw heads. Oh, okay, cool.
I picked this guy up.
Right, okay. What's that?
He is, I saw a date on it. I don't know if you can see. It says 1983 on it. And I thought, don't recognise it, but I can see it was a dinosaur-looking figure. It's GoBot.
A GoBot?
Yeah, but I did 2 giant GoBots that basically didn't actually transform. It just because it's meant to have batteries in there, so basically it moved along, and I think it opened up, and it's not rare, but there's not many of him about.
Right.
So, and I don't collect GoBots, but so I chucked him on eBay for somebody who will like him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting figure. I mean, when I found it, I can't think what he was called. I think he called no, and it was like, oh, you GoBot. Right. Okay, but you don't transform.
I mean, that almost looks like it could be a Masters of the Universe vehicle, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It looks a bit like the battle ram.
Yeah, it looks like you could have a figure sitting there.
Yeah.
It looks like a seat. And it's got some buttons. Things. So you've got a button there and a button there. They don't really do much. And so, but yeah, apparently it's a GoBot.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, so very interesting.
Yeah, you find some quite unusual things actually when you're out and about, don't you?
Yeah, you do. It's sometimes you have a look around and you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Do you ever go to any car boots or anything like that?
Not now. I used to, but about the last 18 months to 2 years, I haven't been to a boot fair. I have problem sleeping at night. Best if I know I've got to get up early. So I'd rather now not have a proper night's sleep or end up having no sleep to go to a boot fair where I may not find nothing. So I've basically sacrificed boot fairs to try and get a bit of sleep.
Do they do boot fairs in the US? Tim, have you heard of? Do you do car boot sales there?
Hang on a second. Yeah. Well, we have what's called the flea markets. We have yard sales and garage sales, but I think car boot sales, the equivalent to those here, is just selling at flea market.
Okay, is that where everyone shows up with their car full of stuff and then they set out a little table?
Charge up my phone.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So it's just like Dean is saying, flea markets.
Okay.
Usually a flea market is at a drive-in movie theater during the day when the drive-in isn't showing movies.
Right. Yeah. They can be a good place to pick up stuff, but these days people are getting very wise to the cost of things or the value of things, aren't they? So it's
they are. I mean,
a rare event. You can't really go and pick up a He-Man figure for 50p anymore because people know they're worth a few quid.
One of the last boot fairs I went to, I was walking around, and on its store it was about 9 o'clock in the morning. So all the dealers have been around, lots of sellers have been around, and on his stall was 2 boxes of Return of the Jedi boxes. One was the Droid Factory, and the other was the Jabba Hutt torture dungeon,
Oh yeah.
and he said to me, "I wished I had the money." He went, "Well, the £40 each boxes are." He went to me, "They're not complete." And I was like, 40 quid, I think. I was owing, just started getting back into. I wasn't really buying a lot, but I also knew there was, I was like, "Oh, I've never seen these before." So I then foolishly went and spoke to my mate who he always does boot fairs, and basically a bit of a jealous guy. He went to me, "Oh no, too expensive, mate, too expensive. £40, oh no, too expensive." Shouldn't have listened to him, because my other friend who was there as well, he's a friend that you could turn to and say, "Look, can I, and I'll pay you back in a couple of days' time." He's actually go, "Yeah, no worries, mate," because he knows you will pay him back.
Yeah.
But I didn't pick him up, sadly.
Oh.
What a shame. Uh,
Oh.
uh,
Yeah. Sometimes you miss things, don't you? You know, and then you
Yeah.
kick yourself later and think, "Oh, I wish I'd have got that now."
mhm.
I've done it a few times.
Yeah. I mean, like, that there's what they call the one rule at a boot fair. If you see it, grab it. Because
Yeah.
instead of walking around and say, "Oh, I'll see if it's still there on the next round," it probably ain't going to be there.
No, you can't afford to sleep on stuff like that. You've got to get it when
Nah.
you see it,
Mhm.
because someone will snap it up. I mean, people make a reasonable living going around boot
Yes.
fairs,
Oh,
identifying
yeah.
all the good stuff, and buying it
I've
all,
done it.
and then they'll go and the next week you'll see them there selling everything again.
Yes. That's how I made my pocket money to go to America and holidays, was going to boot fairs or charity shops, finding vintage toys for pennies, still pounds, but not a lot of money to sell on, because I had got out of collecting again, but I still liked them. And I found, if I could find it and then pass it on to somebody else, why not?
Yeah, can be a good way to make a few quid on the side. Yeah.
I mean, I found at one point I was always finding corgi cars, and dinkies, like 50p a pound. Yeah, maybe not complete. Maybe the doors are missing. But I could still, and they were still on the second-hand market, basically on eBay. You can grab it, you can get a tenner.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is basically advertising. And I was one of these guys that, until this day, I would do every single photo that needs to be done. I won't just do a photo. I would do, the max, because to show everybody, right, this is all the marks on.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I mean, if
it's
you're
like,
prepared to put the work in, it can be, it can be quite a worthwhile task. But I couldn't be bothered to do that.
it's a lot of hassle.
It would do my head in.
I mean, it's like now, because I'm getting rid of anything that's hiding in drawers that are not on show, and some of the stuff I've been listing have been going like that, and it's like, oh, I need more bubble wrap. It's like, oh, I need another box. Oh, you're like,
I've got hundreds of boxes and loads of bubble wrap.
it's like, but
yeah, I've got a garage full of it.
But yeah, I mean, I believe in anything I send off, like I don't just pack it, I overpack it because we don't want our stuff broken.
No.
I mean, we're collectors as well, so we know what it's like to send the item out to somebody who's bought it. We don't want it to get to their end and it's all smashed to bits because
Yeah.
you haven't bubble wrapped it enough. You know.
Well, I had this no, not this one. The Ray figure that I bought.
Mhm.
It just came in a jiffy bag.
Mhm.
And when
Yeah. No.
when I nearly had a heart attack. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
going to be destroyed. But luckily,
Yeah.
it was absolutely fine. But
Yeah.
for a
But
moment,
it could have
my
been
heart was in my mouth.
destroyed.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yes.
I was very lucky actually that it was fine. But when I saw it come through the letterbox, I thought, oh no, you're joking. Please be all right.
Well, my big Melon Falcon came in a black bag.
Oh, you're joking.
No, it came in a black bag. No bubble wrap, no nothing. It just came in a black bag. By courier. And I was lucky because, like if you got the Legendary Collection, it is ginormous and quite solid. There was only 2 bits that had broke. But it could have been a lot worse. I just couldn't believe it when it turned up. I was like, it's in a black bag.
Yeah. Oh no.
Were
you able to fix the broken bits?
I actually didn't bother.
Oh.
It was just where they were. I was meant to, but you know what it's like. You if you don't do it there and then, you end up getting, then you lose bits, don't you? And so yeah,
that's a big heavy toy though. That Legacy Falcon is a real beast.
I love it with all the details that I wish they did it for us as a kid. But like we know, yes, great toy for if we had it in the 80s, we would have loved it like anything. But the cost of that toy would have been a lot more than our stuff we would have had back then. I mean, how much was American Falcon back in the day? I mean, it was about 35 to 40 quid, wasn't it?
Yeah, about that probably. Yeah.
What equals to the day money? I suppose about 200.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know what. Yeah, and I just saw the comment from Dean. I know what. I'm actually the same. I believe in overpacking, so I know that item gets there safe. I have messed up in the past. It's so easy to do. But it's something you don't normally sell. And you think, oh, that'd be fine. That's, and then you get that dreaded email from the customer saying, it's smashed. And you go, but I packed it well. Then you think back, I may have put in bubble wrap, but I didn't put it in a box, did I? Oh, yeah. Oh, you prat.
Right.
You should have,
I've never sold anything, so I've never really had to do that.
I mean, you sometimes just gotta. I mean, I've had eBay account now for quite some years. And you just got to pack it properly. And there was a lot of scammers out in the day, but where they say, "Oh, the item, I've never received the item; it hasn't turned up." Well, I solved that problem. All my stuff goes by signed for by Royal Mail, so it's got to be signed for. So, touch wood, I've not had anybody turn back to me and say, "Oh, I've not received my item."
Yeah. I got sent last week. I got sent the wrong item.
Yeah.
I had ordered some of the Back to the Future Playmobil advent calendar set. I decided to buy the stuff loose rather than open the one that I've got. I decided to get it loose, so I bought some of those bits, and the box arrived, and I thought this seems too big and heavy, but I opened it anyway. And inside, I think, were loads of Ben 10 figures, maybe. I'm not sure what they were.
Right.
But I contacted the seller and I said, look, you've sent me the wrong package. And what she'd done is she'd had two packages and she'd mixed up the address labels. So I ended up with some lady's Ben 10 figures. And she ended up with my Playmobil stuff. So I'm still waiting for that to be sent back to me.
Yeah,
Oh, no, my boy.
That is one of my
I
nightmares.
I repacked it all better, and I've sent it off to Wales, so hopefully she'll get her figures. But there's still no sign of the Playmobil stuff that I bought.
Oh. Yeah, it's one of my nightmares. That is, especially when you got 3 or 4 orders, it's mixing up the dresses, and sometimes I get paranoid. Bessie, it's like, oh, have I put that dress on the right one?
Yeah.
And sometimes I've actually known myself to reopen the box up. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've been there myself. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it can be a nightmare. Especially from overseas. I think somebody's doing something.
Who's doing what?
Not sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust my camera. Yeah, I'm just adjusting the camera out. Seeing how well I can set this picture up.
I think it was all right, Tim. I don't know what.
Well, I took it off the tripod.
Oh.
Yeah, this is really tricky to get it set up to where that's a little bit better now.
Yeah, Dean's done it as well, where he's opened boxes back up and make sure he ain't sending the wrong item.
Andrew's saying he was hoping my story would end with me saying that I'm now collecting Ben 10 figures. No,
I was thinking that myself.
Only my guess. It's only my guess that's what they were. I honestly don't know what they were, but it seemed to be that kind of thing. It was a
big
collection
line.
of random figures.
It's a big line.
Is it?
Very big line.
Right.
I've seen some in the past.
Right. Well, these were all sort of medium size, sort of maybe between 2 and 3 inch, maybe 4 inch. Lots of colourful random figures, but I didn't recognise any of them.
Yeah, probably.
I just knew immediately that it wasn't what I'd bought.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that the lady that received my Playmobil
sends your stuff.
Yeah, I bloody hope so. Because that's the last bits I need for that set. But there's no
it was like I was saying when I was doing when I unboxed your little gift, when I was having a chat on the camera, I was saying I don't really collect the vehicles from any of the TV films, from like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Because they don't really go in with my collection.
Right.
But then I also said at the same time, if you got a whole collection together, like you have, like the Ghostbusters, Scooby-Doo, Knight Rider, and you have a special cabinet showing that, then yeah, I mean, what a cracking good display that would be, showing you all your 80 vehicles from TV in a cabinet.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was all
Yeah,
like
well,
saying, they don't go in my collection. But if you've got not just one, you've got a whole set of them. What a wonderful display!
yeah, yeah. I'm hoping to get my spare room sorted out so that I can change it into a display room. And then if I do, then I'll have a nice Playmobil display in there, because at the moment they're all just kind of back in the boxes, stacked up at the moment. I don't have the space to display them.
Monkey Boy, have you read Dean's comment yet?
Oh, I couldn't do it.
You can't
Dean.
do it, can you?
No, I just can't bring myself to do it. All the other Playmobil stuff I've got, I will open, but that calendar really sort of threw me. And because I picked it up so cheap,
Mm-hmm.
I was prepared to buy the stuff loose. So I've actually managed to get all the stuff that's in the calendar. I've bought loose now, and it's all brand new. It's still in the bags and stuff.
Oh.
So people have obviously just opened it and decided to sell the parts, but I didn't. Yeah. I could have opened the pack, Dean. I could have done it. But I'm an idiot. There's just some things just get me, and I just couldn't bring myself to open that one.
Well, I'm the same with certain toys myself. I mean, I buy some toys that I would never open. And they're not even from the 80s. These are like basically the Power of the Force Jedi figures. I mean, but they look good with all the others. But I've have opened some in the past because they're never going to stay in good nick forever.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it's so easy not to sometimes. I mean, it's like I've not opened any of my Marvel figures because they look brilliant on card with all that artwork, like the Star Wars stuff does.
Yeah. Are they the 3 3/4 ones?
Yeah. Like what
they
Tim's
look
got
great on the card. Yeah. They look fantastic. But Tim opened his. Because he's a barbarian.
I mean, I opened one. I did. I managed to get because Entertainer in Maidstone closed down, so I managed to basically get them really cheap. So I bought what's it called? It comes to be Captain America after Captain America basically retires. Can't think of his name. But I got him anyway twice. So I opened it up and I was like, where do I put this figure?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't go with Star Wars.
Yeah, it doesn't really go with anything.
Nah, so I didn't get any more doubles. So I just left them how they are on card in a display stand, and the artwork is what really it gets you. It's like,
yeah, they do. They look fantastic on card. I really do like how they look. Xantara's just made a really interesting comment. She says, well, first she says that I probably have unopened calendars for every year, which is partially true. But she's saying the dates match up every 6 years. So if you've got a calendar, the dates match every 6th year, which I did not know. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
Or is it 7? Or will it be 7?
What?
Will it be 7 years? Have we got 7 days in a week?
We have, yeah. But I can't do maths.
No, I can't really either.
I'm no good with things like that. But I believe Zantara when she's saying that they'll match every 6 years.
Mm.
So that's quite interesting.
Mm. Mm. Ah, she just explained it. Leap years. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, okay, leap years.
Mm-hmm.
Make it 6, maybe 5. Oh, okay.
Mm. Mm. Oh
Okay.
yeah, because there's
Sure.
some leap years where you then.
I would have, if you'd have asked me, I would have said that they would never match up again. So that's news to me. That's cool.
Mm. It's like your birthday, isn't it? You know, it goes. You know, it goes so long on a different days. Then suddenly you're back on a Monday. You're back on a Tuesday, and you're another year older.
Okay. I hadn't really thought about it.
Mm.
Dean's saying that he has unboxed about 20 retro collection figures, and
Mm-hmm.
they're now in Ziploc bags.
Nice.
Is that just for space reasons, Dean? Is it because it's easier for space?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Any
I mean, I
calendar with-
remembered when I moved to here, all the packing, to basically go to a different country to take what you want to take with you. I mean, I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah. If I had to move house, I honestly don't know what I would do.
Mm.
I'd be packing stuff up for weeks. I
Mm.
think Dean's doing a really difficult job at the moment, having to pack everything up carefully, ready for transportation overseas. I certainly don't envy him that task at all. But
me and my brother was actually talking
right.
about it ourselves. He was. My brother, he's never been to Thailand before, but he seemed to, because he's always with me. He's like my little brother, best mate. And we was talking about it, and he said, we was even saying, if we did it as well, if we went to Thailand to live there as well, what would we take? And I said, well, I'll take all my things to Star Wars. I'll take my mask. And he said, well, I think I would just sell most of my stuff and try to get over there. But like I know, and like Dean knows, some of this stuff you can't find over there.
No.
And also, it'd be pretty hard to let some of this stuff go.
Yeah,
I mean, basically like books. But the thing is, the weight of books, I probably would have to let them go.
Yeah, they're heavy old things, aren't they?
I mean, I got comics going back to the 80s, and I stopped collecting comics from about 2000. So, but I still got a load. So I would like to take them, but the space, cool.
What's Andrew saying? Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, that's why I don't sell stuff on eBay. Because I just the thought of having to take, a dozen pictures of something and list it and then have to pack it up and send it off, and that's just one thing.
Yeah.
My friend asked me what I was going to do with my Bib Fortuna army and said, would I consider selling it? And I said, well, if I sold each figure individually, I could probably make quite a lot of money on that. But I've got over 100 of them, and I don't want to have to do that listing 100 times. I really can't be asked.
No, you
I mean, it's
can, but I don't know how you do it yourself. Though I was saying you can list one figure, and then you go into the listing, and then you basically do as many figures that you've got.
yeah, but
But
because they're
some
all
things are
different,
never.
you know, well, I mean, they're not all different, but there are ones from different countries. They're ones with
Right.
slightly different color coats, so I would have to list them all individually.
Yeah, yeah.
So the only way I could really get rid of them was to sell them as a lot. But who's going to buy 102 or 103 Bib Fortuna figures? There's only one idiot stupid enough to do that, and that was me. Obviously, I didn't buy them all at once. I bought them all mostly individually, although I did buy one lot of, I think it was 11. Someone was selling 11 Bib Fortuna figures. So I'm not quite sure what was going on there, but they obviously had perhaps had a focus in their collection and then decided to get rid of it. But most of them I bought individually.
The same reason why Dean's getting all the things that he knows he won't be able to find in Thailand.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
been
sometimes
picking up those Cayman riders, which are quite interesting. They're
I was there when he bought these the two big ones, and they are nice. They are.
Yeah, they look good, don't they? I don't know anything about it, but they do look good.
I'm the same. I don't know about it either, but they do look good.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't need to know the show or the film. Because when we was kids, sometimes we didn't see the film. We got the figures before we even saw the film. You like the figure, and sometimes you don't need to.
Well, I remember one year. I remember getting my first Star Wars figures. I got the Luke with the Tatooine outfit. You know, farm boy Luke. And Darth Vader, and I didn't know what they were. I was like, "Ooh, these look fun," but I didn't. I had no idea of the source material because I hadn't seen Star Wars at that point.
No.
So I actually got the figures before I knew what the films were.
I mean, I must have been about 6 when I first got them, and I probably, I can't actually remember, but I probably hadn't seen the films, especially Star Wars. I mean, I knew about Empire Strikes Back because I was definitely 7 then, so I know I had the figures for them. But Star Wars, I probably never saw till probably after Empire Strikes Back, probably. I don't really remember my early years, especially before my 10. Some things I do remember, some things I don't. But yeah, I was probably the same.
When did you see Star Wars, Tim? Tim?
Is Tim still here?
Tim?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just had to use the bathroom.
Oh, okay, cool. When did you see Star Wars first? How old were you when you first saw that?
I don't know. It was maybe 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
But you are younger than us, aren't you, Tim?
No, Tim's about 6 months older than me.
Or I'm the oldest out of you
lot. Tree's asking, what does your dream collector room consist of besides toys? Tim, you go first.
Well, Blu-rays, DVDs, and then probably books. So stuff like this, like maybe just movie and TV books.
Yeah. Cool. What about you, Jason?
Apart from toys, it's basically autographs that are on the wall. Sadly, some autographs have been taken off for wall units, and books and comics really, and full-size posters. As you can see
Okay.
behind me, if I
Yeah.
move the camera slightly, you see the poster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you see a Revenge of the Jedi poster. And
Revenge as opposed to Return.
yeah, Revenge. The original
Cool.
name.
Yeah, cool. I think I'd be the same as Tim. My collection room would have books, DVDs, Blu-rays. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I intend to do with my spare room when I get rid of the bed and put in shelves all around the walls. It's going to be, I'm going to move all my DVD and Blu-ray collection into there, and all my books.
Well,
and then
guys,
the space that's left will be toys. So I'm not actually going to fill the whole thing up with toys. It's mainly going to be DVDs and books.
nice.
And then whatever spare room I've got left, I'll then do toys, because I've already got too many toys to fill that room up anyway. Every single available space in my house has got toys on it. I even yesterday I hung 4 boxed figures on the wall, on hooks on the wall, because I've got no space left anywhere for them. So I thought, I'm going to have to start hanging stuff on the wall now.
You done
So
on the
that's what I'm
ceiling
doing.
yet?
Nah, well, no, not as such, no. But I mean, it might come to that. It might come to that.
We know a certain person who started putting his figures on the ceilings, don't we? If you watch his channel.
Who's that?
Only Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, only one Kenobi.
Yeah.
Oh, has he got stuff on the ceiling? I didn't know.
Yeah, not many.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. So what are they just like hanging from
No, I
wires?
believe because they were like in cam cases, you just managed to get them properly fixed on the ceiling. But I think he's not doing many. I think he's trying to find other ways.
Yeah. Oh. Well, if I were to get a Millennium Falcon, I'd have to hang that from the ceiling. I've got nowhere else I could put it. I've got a TIE Fighter, but that's in the box. I'm displaying that in the box at the moment, so that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's, I've got stuff in boxes because it makes it easy to display, because, it's less space. But sometimes it's about seeing the toy as well.
Yeah.
But, but it's like we all know, it's a dreaded thing for all us collectors, space. You just run out,
Yeah. You just sort of have to move everything to accommodate a new item, and then a couple of weeks later you're shifting it about again to try and make more room. I mean, I've basically given up now. When I get stuff, I've just got piles of figures in their boxes. I don't know what to do with them.
I think it's the same with my. Carry on.
Sorry, go on.
I think it's the same thing with my vintage Star Wars figures, where I thought I had them all, but I wasn't displaying them properly. That I now realise I may never had these two last 17 figures. That one I'm pretty certain I did have, but I cannot find it at all. So I think, because where there's so many, I've also got Stan Solo figures, that you think you've got them and you haven't, because you're just trying to make space, and you can miscalculate.
Yeah. Have
We
you
know
got
how
room
much these-
for the last two Ewoks you need? You got room for them?
Oh yeah, I can easily make room for them. But I'll just have to wait now for the decent prices.
Andrew has got makes a good an interesting comment here. He says, "In box must take up more room than unboxed.
They
At
can.
least I can group them all together in tight spaces or in tubs. Poor Monkey Boy needs room for all that big cardboard." Well, you see, not necessarily, because all my Motu figures that I've got on card, all my Origins and all my Super 7, because I've got those in display cases, I can stack them all up on top of one another like this, and they stand perfectly well up against the wall, and I've got an entire wall covered in Motu figures in their boxes. Now, if I were to take them out of their boxes, I wouldn't know where to put them, because they would take up more real estate as loose figures, because I'd have to put them all on the same level, almost on a shelf or on the floor or wherever it might be. But actually, keeping them on the card, admittedly, I've got them in display cases, so they stack up like this. But it's not always the case that loose means less room. For the most part, I would agree that loose means less room. I mean, certainly my Bib Fortuna army, I've got the whole army on one shelf of my drinks cabinet, because I don't drink, so I've got no drinks in my drinks cabinet. I've just got.
Are they
Bib
all
Fortuna.
3 point? All the original vintage figures.
Yeah. If I turn my camera around, I don't know if you can see. I'll try and turn but I won't be able to see what you're looking at. But can you see? I've got the Ghostbusters.
I can see a Ghostbusters headquarters that I still want on my list.
Yeah,
right, so
I've
at
got
least
all the
I know. Yeah.
stuff there. But if I lift the camera up behind that, I don't know if you can see my Bib Fortuna
Yeah,
army.
we can see. Yeah, we can.
Can you see it behind there?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're all in one on one shelf. Now, if I had those all on card, I'd have no chance.
Nah. You got a
yeah.
original Attack or Power of the Force one?
What up behind there?
Yeah, was that the original one or Power of the Force Attack?
That's an original. I've got 3 of them.
Lucky bugger.
Yeah, I won 3 by accident. The story behind it is this was years and years ago. I discovered a site called Auction Sniper, which means that you can bid for stuff on eBay. You can or it bids for you. It's like an automatic bidder, so you don't have to get into bidding wars or anything.
Yeah.
And I'd never used it before, and I wasn't confident that it would be any good. And I wanted an AT-AT. So I found 3 AT-ATs on eBay, and I put them all into Auction Sniper, thinking if I'm lucky, I might get one.
Yeah.
And Auction Sniper is so good, I got all 3 of them. And
my
I won
brother's
all
told
3,
me about it.
It's really,
I've
really
never
good.
used it.
I've been using it ever since.
Really?
It must be over 15 years I've been using it now. Almost everything I buy on eBay, I put in Auction Sniper if it's an auction. And I just put in my maximum bid, and then I walk away and I leave it. I don't have to watch the auction. I don't have to stay up till silly o'clock in the morning to make a final bid. I don't get into bidding wars with anyone. I just put my maximum amount in and I let it do it. And I would say 8 or 9 times out of 10, I win the item. So I've been using it ever since I won those 3 ATATs. I've been
Probably
using
the reason why I sometimes lose things as well. There's like, I want to get another Christmas credit that my mum's bought me when I was about 6, 5, and that's the Action Man short balloon tank. The bloke had it up for 15 quid. It was damaged in little places, but it still looked good on display. It had the tracks, and it sold for 18 quid. I did up to 17 and basically forgot about it, and I lost out of it by £1.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. Auction Sniper is fantastic. I highly recommend it to anyone that uses eBay. If you use eBay regularly, I would say get an Auction Sniper account. They do take a little commission from everything you win, but it's very small.
Oh, right.
It's a very small amount. And you just preload your account with money. You can buy like $5, $10, $20,
right.
whatever. And then it sits in your account, and then when you win the item, it takes a little
so
percentage.
what, they sort of like...
Go on.
Right.
And yeah, they'll
just... I do the last 3 seconds as well.
He's just reading Dean's comment.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Auction Sniper is it does it automatically right at the last second. I think it puts a bid in 2 seconds before. But the beauty of it is you don't have to have like for example, say you were sitting on an auction and you wanted to put a bid in right at the last second. If you click bid, but your internet speed is slow, it might not register in time, and you might miss out on that. So you end up having to do it 10 seconds before to make sure that everything updates in time. Whereas the beauty with Auction Sniper is it synchronizes with eBay, so that when it puts that bid in for you 2 seconds before, you know that 9 times out of 10, no one's going to be able to beat you, because it does it right at in 2 seconds before the bid finishes. And like I said, I've been using it for over 15 years now, and I don't do things that don't work. So I wouldn't be using it if it didn't work. And I wholeheartedly recommend using it to anyone that goes on eBay. I would really recommend Auction Sniper. I think there are several different sites you can do this with, but the one I use is called Auction Sniper. And I think that was probably one of the original ones, and it's completely legit. It's been going for 15, 20 years, however long it's been going. Yeah, it's good stuff. Oh, Lester's back with us. Hey, Lester.
I'm just listening to the conversation. I'm gonna just give my my penny of a comment about Dream Collection. Figures would be part of it. Artwork would be part of it, like what Jason has with his posters. But I would probably use different material.
I got it from my shop up in Manchester.
Is there an echo going on?
Pardon me.
No worries. I was just saying that, and then I was thinking on apparel, and that would mostly be hats. If I could find a hat centered around a property, I would get that, because I can easily create a wall of hats, and I'll likely I'm more inclined to wear them. Yeah. Sometimes there's a part of me that likes to collect stuff to display them, but whether we're talking novels, comic books, or DVDs, I'm going to use them. I'm going to watch. I'm going to consume them. So just like with apparel, I like hats because I wear them and I can display them. I don't know about shirts. I don't know how I would do that because I know some people like in the sports world they like collecting jerseys. Don't know about that. I'm one to like if I'm gonna get a jersey, I'm gonna wear it. Yeah, I never had
Okay.
that collect
Yeah.
to build value. So I'm like the worst person to say you got to collect this or that, like trading cards or like the comic cards. I
Mhm.
remember going to the comic store. I'm not one of those guys like, ooh, it's a hologram card. I'm gonna put it in a nice little case. Like, no, I'll put them in a case because I want to look at them and I don't want to put any smudges on them. I'm not there for them to collect value for me. That's just me. I think if I'm gonna buy something, I'm gonna use it or I'm gonna make it as part of a decorative in my room or
Yeah.
the rest of my apartment. That's just
Yeah.
my mindset.
I have a question for you, Lester. But first, I just want to address a comment from Zantara. She's saying that she sees why she's lost auctions in the past to last second bidders. Yep, that was me, Zantara. That was me, an auction sniper. I got in there. I was sneaking in there like a rat up a drain pipe, and I got there. That was my fault. Yeah, auction sniper. Anyway,
Yeah.
Lester, my question for you is: when you wear ball caps, do you keep the brim straight or do you bend it?
Yes.
Do you bend it over?
Oh, looks like Jason has a certain preference. I like to curl them because I got it from a relative of mine. It just depends. Like some caps, I'll leave them straight just because I'm
I've
lazy.
got about 40s.
40 ball caps. Jason, were you trying to say something?
Mhm.
Yeah, you
You've
said
got
something about
40, Jason.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think.
but I've been wearing I don't know if the term is actually scully or scally. It's like one of those classy type of hats, not a top hat, but I've got 2 or 3 caps that I don't know their name, but there is a company called Boston Scally. They're not the cheapest ones to get that kind of hat from, but I started wearing that kind of hat. Just something I
Okay.
got from a book called The Art of Manliness, which suggested which hats you were to wear. And they do say no to ball caps, but I'm like, okay. But I like a good ball cap, you know.
I can't wear baseball caps. For some reason, they never ever look good on me. I've got one of those faces that it just doesn't work. I can't wear them.
Yeah.
Zantara is saying that she oh, I've lost the comment. It was a comment about oh oh sorry, the comment's gone. I can't read it now.
It was Why You No Good Monkey
Oh
Jerk.
yeah,
I
there
hope
it is.
you enjoyed listening to that Austrian 80 pop record you cheated me out on.
Oh no, that wasn't me then. That wasn't me.
You sure?
Yeah. No, I haven't bought any Australian 80s pop.
By any chance was that 80s pop group? By any chance that was that a certain lady who was in Neighbours?
Bit of Kylie. I used to love Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, you can't beat her.
The first album was really good, actually.
Mm.
You know, for its time, it was really good. It probably still is good. There were some great tracks on there. Yeah, I used to love that. I used to have a big poster of Kylie in my bedroom.
I was just movie posters. I was as a kid. It was my video store used to sell them for about 20p to 50p, and I had a wall where my whole bedroom was full of posters and I wish I kept them over the years. Or some of them posters I found out later on was worth quite a bit of money, you know. Huh?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I had a few. I remember I had a big laminated, or not laminated, but a massive glossy one of Honey, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And I'm sure that would be worth a fortune now, but I don't know where it is.
I had
So-
one. I had Dreamscape on poster, and I think that's the Chuck Norris one. I think I found that was like 20p from the video store, and I think now that's about £100 poster. And I think I had Aliens poster.
Oh,
I
cool.
mean, I don't remember all the posters I had because I had loads. But I was always going down the video store, buying, renting videos, buying the X rental stock, buying the posters. I mean, at one point, my bedroom had about 3,000 videotapes. I mean, they took some serious pocket money off me, and they weren't all PGs or they didn't really give a monkeys back in the 80s what age you was, in some places. Yeah, you can buy the 18 film. Yeah, no worries, mate.
Andrew's saying he's still got some of his old comic book posters, but they're a little beat up now. Well, yeah, I've got comic posters up. I mean, I've got a Spider-Man one here on the back of my door.
Nice.
You can see that.
Yeah,
I've got comic book posters about all over the place. I don't know if that's the same kind of thing that you mean.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, it was all the movie posters you should get from the video store. Basically, they used to advertise the latest video latest film to be released.
Yeah, we used to put our name on them in the video store. We would go down and say, "Can I have that poster when you finish with it?" And they'd say, "Yeah," and they'd write your name in a little book. Oh,
yeah, ours it was all.
My thing. Oh my God! Stop pinging. Sorry, for some reason my thing is. Oh my goodness!
You're getting hit by messages, are you?
Yeah. Sorry about this. Hang on.
That's all right.
Trying. Oh, what's going on? Okay, I think that should be all right now. It's really weird because when I turn down the volume on my tablet, all the volume on everything goes down, but except for Facebook Messenger, and then they always come through. I don't know why. So sorry about that.
Especially now with all the groups send you a group message.
Yeah. No, I don't know why these suddenly came through noisily. That was a bit unexpected. How about you, Tim? Did you have any posters up when you were a kid? What kind of thing did you have on your walls? Anything?
Let's see. I remember having an some ET, the extraterrestrial posters.
Nice.
And I might have had a Star Trek the Motion Picture poster. And then I had a Disney Snow White poster I got at McDonald's.
Wow.
And let's see what else. Yeah, I can't think of anything else right now that I had. That's all I can think of.
And how did you stick them to the wall? Did you use tape or did you use a sticky tack?
I think we just used thumbtacks.
Uh-huh.
Tape. Oh
I
yes,
use,
dreaded
I
tape.
always use I use blue tack, sticky tack.
But when I was a kid, it was always tape, and then you go and move it, you end up ripping the corners where you put the tape on. Oh, I remember them. Now, blue tack.
Yeah, but blue tack leaves a stain, doesn't it?
Can after some years, yeah, they can come through. I mean, I now when I know if these posters are staying on the wall, especially the ones on my doors, I now use the double-sided little tabs you can get, and so because I know I'm not going to take it off on the door because I don't really decorate because I don't smoke, and I don't cook a lot, so my walls still look fresh after so many years.
Yeah.
So I don't have to take them off. So yeah, it makes life easier. But if you do need to remove them, you have really got to basically get a knife behind and slowly go down and cut them off off the doors, off the walls.
Yeah.
And you really got to be careful. You can't rush.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I think all the stuff that's on my walls and doors and everywhere, I think it'll probably be there until I die.
Mm.
I use command strips for a lot of the big canvas
Oh, yeah.
prints that I've got. I think they're really good.
Mhm.
They're a good option, and they do come off easily if you
Yeah.
need to remove them.
I've seen them.
But it's quite an expensive way to do it, but
Mhm.
I don't really have any option with the framed stuff that I've got. It's a little bit too heavy to
Oh,
hang
your
on.
wall's quite hard, are they?
Yeah, and I don't want to have to drill holes in the wall to hang stuff up. So I use command strips,
Yeah.
which are pretty good. I mean, the weight bearing capability is quite good. And they're probably better than Velcro. In fact,
Cool.
they're similar to Velcro.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, sometimes where I've moved my pictures over the years, when I've had them moved around, some of my walls look like Swiss cheese. Where I've got nails in, and I've taken the nails out, and I've moved and then put the new nail in, and
Yeah.
you never see them because it's covered up with old pictures. But when you start taking them off, you're like, there's quite a lot of nails holes in these walls.
Yeah. So how are you doing for time, Tim?
Well, we're at 2 hours and 43 minutes now, but I'm feeling a little bit tired. So
Well, it's near
I
enough
don't know.
midnight here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to go for any longer because I just feel tired.
I mean, you're the boss, Tim. We can wrap it up whenever you want to.
I think my
don't know if
phone's getting a bit overheated anyway.
I don't know if anyone in the chat has any questions for any one of us.
I think my webcam's getting a little bit hot, so I might just want to end here because we've been 2.5 hours now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, if there's anyone in the chat that has a final question or anything that they want to say, we can invite them to do that now. But otherwise, we should probably think about wrapping the stream up.
I touched my camera a little while ago.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing anything else from anybody in the chat.
Well, thank you to everyone that popped into the chat. Thank you to all the guests. Thank you, Tim, for hosting another great stream.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone in the chat. I can't remember everyone that came in, but you're all brilliant. Thank you so much for
Yeah, well,
stopping
we had
by and
retro.
joining in.
We had retro toy guy Cy was here earlier on camera, and
Yep.
Unmasked Maniac, who's Johnny Sorensen.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
saw Johnny briefly, didn't we? Hopefully he'll come back next week or soon, so that we can ask him about his collection.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks to everyone in the chat for
And
joining in.
it's
Been really
really
good.
lifted my spirits up as well. That one
Oh,
thing,
good.
it's been
Thanks
nice
to
to come
Lester.
on and have a chat.
Yeah. No, it's been great to chat with you, man. Thanks to Lester for
Mm.
stopping in.
Yes.
Thanks to Jason. Thanks to Cy and Johnny.
And Dean, carry on, my friend. Because you probably got so much to unpack. Well, pack.
Yeah. He's probably knee deep in action figures as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why are you playing with any of that action figure? Why are you unpacking? I mean, packing.
Yeah, he says enjoyable stream. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dean. Thanks, Dean. And thanks for joining in.
Mm.
It's been good to have you, buddy.
Oh, definitely.
Cool. Oh, Tim, careful. That yawn, you nearly sucked me in then.
I'm sorry.
I'll be let you off, Tim.
Oh,
So thank you guys for joining me for another great chill stream. Oh, and Andrew saying thanks to you guys for hosting this fun party.
thanks, Andrew. Really appreciate it, man. And thank you, Zantara, and everybody else that's been in the chat. It's been really good. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you turning up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. See you all soon. You can end the
See you
stream, Tim,
later.
and then we can say
Bye.
bye privately. See you later.
Okay. End broadcast.